Well, first off, the question is, do I look fat?
You look beautiful.
Thank you. So you ready?
There are lots of Ben stories, as everybody knows.
So a Ben story would be that he told a lot of people that he was my sugar daddy, and I am still waiting for that check.
The first time I ever met Ben Davis, he said he was my wife's sugar daddy.
But one of my favorites is this track season when he was at a track meet really, really late after having arrived at the wrong school, finally making it to the right school and then being there until like forever, and texting the other coaches around, I don't know, 9:45 saying that he might die there before he has a chance to retire.
I could not find Coach Davis for lunch duty one time when I was the dean of students. And so when I opened his door, it was cracked open. I kind of pushed it open. I found him just like this. Dead asleep.
2008. We all went to high school's that work conference, and Ben said that he would have a drink if Stacy Millice had a drink. So they each got a drink at this restaurant we went out to for dinner, and then afterwards there was the big fountain in Atlanta in Centennial Park where the bombing happened in the Olympics many years ago, and Ben was actually in the fountain playing in the water on the way back from the restaurant.
Davis, when I had him for pre-calculus, used to play us a little song on his guitar while we took tests. The song was The Day the Music Died, and he would sing it about twice through because it's a pretty long song. And so we created a group called the Smashing Trophies and threatened to smash his trophies if he kept singing it.
So, my best Ben Davis story is when Ben Davis decided to bring students to my house one time. And Mr. Davis shows up in my driveway with Wes Samuels. And he says to me, "Hey, I have a check for you to drop off that I accidentally received in my mailbox." And I was like, "Oh, that's great." And I said, "Who's in your car?" And he says, "Wes Samuels." And I said, "Ben, not a single kid in this world knows where I live. That is why I live at Indian Lake. What are you doing bringing a student to my house?" And he looks at me and says, "It's just Wes Samuels. He won't remember how to get back here anyway."
Ben always shared a story with me when I taught sex ed. He always had a knack of coming in when I was teaching it, and he shared with me one time that he had moved schools, and the school that he moved from had not yet taught sex ed, and the school that he moved to already had taught sex ed. So he always told me that the way that he learned about sex ed was through frog overlays in a biology book.
So I have a couple stories that I could tell. The one where Mr. Davis's first year, Dan Thompson threw his briefcase out the window during a fire drill. Or the one where the students came running into my class. Actually, it was Brenda Johnson came into my class and said they couldn't wake Mr. Davis up because the bell had rung and they tried to wake him up. I went in, I had to like poke him to wake him up. They thought he was dead. I did too, I didn't know. But really the one that kind of encapsulates Ben's career here was the time a hummingbird got loose in his room, and my class, and I think another class, went in and watched this whole escapade of Ben trying to catch a hummingbird for really 30 to 40 minutes. He's jumping on desks, he's ranting about, I don't know, probably Obama, and it's just like nonstop, pure Ben Davis action. He finally, I don't even know how he finally got it out, but it was like, it was a perfect metaphor for his career.
Mr. Ben Davis has been a friend for a long time. In fact, when I decided to go back to college, he had just started teaching here and had been a coach to one of my children, and I borrowed some textbooks from him to review when I went back to college. I've had Ben tell me before that while writing with his father, to activities that it just about drove him crazy because he talks so much. I know Ben's parents, I know one of his brothers reasonably well, and I've heard Ben say that he's the reserved one in the family, and that's actually kind of true. And I think Mrs. Mount would agree, the theory of relativity, where it's all about a frame of reference, I think no further proof is required. One thing I'll miss about Ben is that in the past, whenever I was late getting home or I forgot I was supposed to get home at some time, I could always say, Ben stopped in the room. And I didn't have to explain anything any further. I'll have to get another go-to excuse. And what I'll miss about Ben, well, I'll miss him because he was a friend, because he's a good man. If he would have invested all the money he spent on his athletes and students over the years into a savings account, he could be taking us all on a cruise when he retires. But he's a generous man. I'm going to miss him.
I guess I really can't think of a specific Ben story to tell, but I will say that from the time he started, when I was a senior in high school, to our present day and age, his heart has always been in the right place. He's valued our students, he's valued the people he's worked with, and not only will we miss him, but those who get him will value him as well. So, Ben, goodbye, good luck, and stay in touch.
Yeah. All right, we tight. I'm out.